For the points 8, -3, and 3, -10, find the midpoint and the distance between them. All right, now first off, the formula for the midpoint. It's a point. You add up and divide by 2. That's the basic structure of the midpoint formula. And the distance formula is d equals the square root. You subtract and square and add another, subtract and square. These are the structures of the formulas. Now for the x part of the midpoint, the x values are added together and divided by 2. For the y part of the midpoint, the y values are added together and divided by 2. For the distance formula, the second x value, subtract this first x value, and for the second one, the second y value, subtract the first y value. Make sure you're not adding x's and y's together. They are not like terms. And I wanted to emphasize the structure. First off, there were a lot of mistakes on the test with thinking the midpoint was subtraction or the distance formula was addition. So the midpoints, the averages, add them up, divide by 2, and the distance formula, to find the distance between two numbers, you subtract them. So this is basically a subtraction. And adding the squares, this is Pythagorean theorem. Okay, now we just simplify. 8 plus 3 is 11 over 2. -3 minus 10 is -13 over 2. That is the midpoint. The distance, we have the square root. 3 minus 8 is -5, quantity squared, plus -10 plus 3 is -7, quantity squared. That's the square root of 25 plus 49, which is the square root of 74. 74 does not reduce. We could check that by seeing if there's a perfect square in 74. 4, no. A 9, no. You could also just factor it by like dividing by 2. It's 37 times 2. No perfect squares. It does not reduce. So the exact distance, don't use your calculator to approximate this, or else you do not have the exact distance. It's the square root of 74. If you wanted to approximate it, this decimal is irrational. It goes on forever. It does not repeat. If you were to just take these 9 digits, it is not exact. There's an infinite number or more. So if you're asked for the exact distance, unless the decimals are finite and end, don't use decimal form. Okay.